My name's Anissa. I'm from Dallas, North Carolina. I'm 43 years old and I've been in Teen Challenge for about 5 months now. My story begins when I was a small child. I was born into a good Christian family. I was taken to church every Sunday, and I knew who Jesus was and I knew who Jesus should be to me. I had a lot of anxiety as a child, and I would sleep a lot to overcome that. The sleeping continued up until my teenage years, and that's when I found alcohol. I started drinking on a daily basis, and that seemed to calm my nerves and help the anxiety, and I guess now I know it's depression. I drank all through high school. I still led a normal high school life. I made good grades, I played sports, but there was just something that I couldn't overcome. I went to college, and when I was a senior in college, I became pregnant with my son. I didn't really know his dad, but we got married anyway because that was the thing to do. We stayed married for about 3 years, and we just couldn't get along. We couldn't live together any longer. So I left, and that was a hard decision for me because I didn't want to make my child live in a home where he didn't have his mom and dad together. But I had to do it for my sake and for his sake too. That's when I found a doctor that prescribed me antidepressants, and he also prescribed me anti-anxiety medicine. And Klonopin started my whole spiral downward. I would take it not as prescribed. I would take too many, but it made me forget everything. I didn't feel the shame and guilt anymore that I had felt for a long time. The medicine continued to increase, and as life happened, or as difficult times came, I just couldn't deal with it like normal people could deal with things. And I didn't understand what was going on, and I didn't know what was missing in my life. It was then I got remarried. My husband became abusive on our honeymoon, and the next 3 years were hell for me. He had an unlimited supply of hydrocodone, so that mixed with my anxiety meds, I became a numb person, but I was able to deal with the abuse and everything that was going on in my life. I had been an accountant for 16 years, and the drugs started to affect my job. I left my second husband. Then again, I felt like a failure, and so the intake of drugs increased. I eventually lost my job of 16 years. My son was then a junior in high school, and I didn't know how I was going to be able to provide for him, knowing he was going to be able to go to college that next year. So I decided it was then that I needed to take my own life and let my family take care of him, because I thought he deserved better. So I took an entire bottle of pills, shut my bedroom door, and I was prepared to die. That night, my son knew I was in a bad way, and he banged on the door asking me not to leave him. But I was such a broken person that it really didn't matter to me anyway. Luckily, God didn't see fit to take me that night, so, I'm still here. But that wasn't the end of my downward spiral. The drug taking increased. If I couldn't get enough prescribed by my doctors, I took to buying it on the streets. In July of this year, I woke up in jail. I had no clue how I had gotten there, what I had done to get there, and how long I had been there. It was then I realized that my life had to change, because I was either going to die or I was going to spend the rest of my life in jail, because, I didn't know what would come next. So I talked to my family and called them and told them that I needed help. And they called our pastor, and he suggested that I come to Teen Challenge. And I was hesitant at first, but then I realized something faith-based and long-term would probably be what it was going to take to help me. My son and I have not had the best relationship in probably a year. And before I left, he hugged my neck and told me that he said, I want you to go to Tennessee. And he said, don't worry about me. He said, just bring my mom back to me. This Thanksgiving, my mom and my dad and my son came up. And he told me that he could already see the changes in me after 4 or 5 months. And he told me, he said, if God can do this in you in 4 or 5 months, he can't wait to see what he has in store for me in 13 months when I complete the program. I now have peace in my heart. I now smile and don't even realize I'm smiling. And I give all the glory to Jesus, but I also thank Teen Challenge. Because the relationship that I knew I was supposed to have with God, all along, all my life, they've now shown me how to do that. And I know now that Jesus is all that I need, and I don't need the drugs that I had been taking for the past 25 years. And I'm just so thankful to be here. Thank you.
If you had something to say to somebody that is walking in your shoes right now, what would you tell them?
I would tell them to get on their knees now and ask God to guide their steps. And I would also tell them that there's help out there, and you don't have to have money. There's free help out there. And Teen Challenge, look it up on the web or on the internet. It saved my life, and it can save yours.
Praise the Lord. Thank you.